welcome back. So we back at it. Another day, another wonderful conversation in the LDBC. Hope everybody is doing well. Wait for some people to come on in the channel. Shout out to Topo Chico. I am not sponsored by Topo Chico. I sponsor them with my money on a regular basis. So let me get a couple things done while we wait for the conversation to start. No, this is not made for kids, and we will start it. What's going on, Brothers UK in the building? What's going on, man? So, yeah, let me turn here. What's going on, man? I think I'll try to do my best to stay in this screen right here. Because that way it stays a little more real. The Brothers UK, what's going on with you, man? Underground Asylum, what's happening? Shake Man TV, salute to you. Calvin Johnson, what's going on to you? Fran's Perspective, salute to you. All right, man. The King Corleone's in the building. Oh, Fannon the Don Corleone. Okay, I thought you say King. This was up. Bushi, what's going on? Bumpy Thompson, what's happening with you, man? Mr. Shelton, what's good? Senzo South African, salute to you, sir. Salute to you, sir. Dago 619, Cali Factor. Trill is on, bro. Oh, that's cool. I mean, they'll get off. They know that I go on because sometimes they go over. So in order for me to start my show and get off on a regular time, I just got to start. But they know and they understand that. Charles Robb, what's going on, man? Lord Shepherd Bush, what is that? John De La Rosa said, let's start with interviewing you. You start in boxing. How do you know about boxing? Let's start with interviewing you. No. How about that? Mr. Mott in the building, much love. I'm going to put this stupid shit up. I'm going to put that stupid shit right there, dog. He said, gotta say you a real one. I appreciate that, man. I try to be. I'm me. You know what I mean? I am me. Look at this idiot. Hey, sorry, man. You get to get it. The show ain't even really kicked off yet, so I got a couple minutes to talk bad about you. Let's start interviewing you hard. You can't interview me hard. You asking a fucking question, dummy. You started in boxing. You start in boxing. How do you know about boxing? You're not from the United States, are you? Because that is some shit poor. That is some shit poor. Oh, yeah, organized crime. Huge. Huge. They came out with an announcement yesterday that's fucking mind-boggling. The shit's mind-boggling. They some crooks. The highest lay for real. I'm going to wait to get on that conversation for a while. But man, Bob Arum's a fucking crook. Okay. Shelly Finkel's a fucking crook. Okay. Yeah, I said Shelly Finkel. Man, these dudes, but no, they're not crooks. Excuse me. I don't know if Shelly Finkel's a crook. I know Bob Arum is. But what they're doing right now is insane. 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 But let me make sure I get my notes before we go on it, man, because I don't want to be stumbling around looking for oh boy. We gotta wait a couple more minutes, man. We gotta wait a couple more minutes. And then we'll get it cooking. He's a troll from the graveyard. Oh, John De La Rosa, you're a troll from the graveyard. Oh, but I don't mind answering your question. I started off as watching boxing when I was I don't know, 3 or 4 years old, as long as I've known. So I've been watching boxing for about 45 years, pretty much straight, with a little bit of a dip in the 1980s when I was in 1880s and the early 90s. I lost a little bit of interest after Muhammad Ali passed away. I mean, excuse me, not after he passed away. After Muhammad Ali retired, And then after like my dad would never take me to the closed circuit TV. He would take my sister for some reason to closed circuit to go watch the fights in closed circuit. Still don't understand that. But yeah, pretty much the whole time, man. Thanks for asking. What, are you looking to hire me for a job or something? Mike Biggs boxing in the building. Anyway, that's enough now. John Del Rosa, I answered your question. I answered your question, so now you can get thrown out. Will somebody please throw him out? Mike Biggs boxing in the building. What's good, man? Brian S., salute. All right, Fannon. Salute and peace to the chat, says Gravy Davy. All right, so when we get to 100, we'll start rolling heavy. Okay, we're at 100. We're light around 100. So, all right, so let's get it going, man. All right, we're gonna take care of the boxing first, and after that, we will get to the other wonderful things that are going on in the world. But we must start with the sport of boxing. Now, there was a podcast that I highly recommend that you guys listen to. Okay? Highly recommend it. It is called, excuse me. I tweeted it out for people ahead of time. See, I gave you the source. If you follow my Twitter, I gave you the source on Twitter, so you can go to my real quick. If you want to know what I'm gonna get into, go to my Twitter page and look for a tweet. Where's my thing where I can see tweets and all of that? Man, where are my former tweets at? And there was a podcast by, I think it's called Boxing Esquire Podcast. It is a podcast, and I put the link. Oh, notifications. Okay, I should have something in notifications about it. Okay. Give me 1 second. All right. So, man, where did it go? All right, I guess I got to wing it because I can't see it real quick. All right, so there's this guy named Daniel Kinahan. You ready for this? Now I'm going to get ready to go through this. This guy named Daniel Kinahan. He is the son of Christy Kinahan. And a few weeks ago, you started hearing Bob Arum outwardly praising Daniel Kinahan and saying how essential Daniel Kinahan is to making for boxing events for Top Rank and for Tyson Fury, right, to be held in the Middle East. Guy named Daniel Kinahan. So he was like, this guy's really great. He does a wonderful job of connecting with people. He's somebody basically saying that this is a guy that can run the show. Oh, my man, 78 Sports TV, much love in the super chat. He said, what you drinking on for 9? Tomorrow's my birthday, and I'm drinking all Remy Martin, VSOP 713, XO, and Louis the 8th, plus Coochie Juice. Yes, sir. Hey, dog, I'll tell you what, man. I don't drink a lot, but I'm going to show you what I really like. And I have not drinking any of this in maybe like 4 months. And this is why this is an empty one. It's just sitting over here. I don't know why I got this shit sitting here. This is what I fucks with right there. Aberfieldy Highland single malt Scott whiskey, 12 years aged. Where was this made? This is it's a Scotch. Yeah, absolutely wonderful. It's reasonable. I mean, for Scotch, it's reasonably priced. So this is like, 75 mill. This is like 75 milliliters, and this only costs. I know it might sound crazy, but it only costs, I think, $40 after taxes, maybe $42 for some really top notch scotch. And if you don't know, if you've not drank scotch, dog, dude, if you drink this, dude, I'm telling you, if you get this, where's it at? Damn. If you drink this, and I'm not advertising it at all. I'm not advertising it at all. But I'm saying that you will never drink that sweet shit again. Like somebody gave me a sip of some, I forget what it was. It was like something that I'm pretty sure it was whatever the fuck, one of them drinks that either Puffy Combs makes, Sean Combs liquor, or like, some rap star's liquor. It's that everybody buys, right? Dog, I drank that shit. I drank it before, right? And but you got that stuff has got so much sugar in it. It's not, it's like, you taste this, man, shit's smooth. It tastes good. You will never get a headache. Absolutely love scotch, man. The problem with scotch is the shit is sky fucking high expensive. Sky high fucking expensive if you drink it at a bar or if you drink somewhere else. But if you really do like scotch, and I'm telling you, oh yeah, Ciroc. Like Ciroc to me, that shit. I was like, damn, this shit's like fucking Kool-Aid with alcohol in it. You know what I mean? It's like Kool-Aid with alcohol in it, or no, like alcohol with Kool-Aid in it. That's better. It's kind of thick. This shit right here, all the flavor that you get from this comes from the wood in the cask. They don't put there's no additives, none of that stuff in there. So I fucked around the other day because, like I said, I hadn't drinking a lot, but I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna drink something. But I didn't really want to spend much money. So I went and got like a mid-level one, like a mid-level whiskey. And so I hit maybe like a couple whiskey, was listening to 78, so I was getting tipsy, fucked around and gave him $50 because I was like, fuck, I think I hit the number wrong. Nah, seriously, man. Went over there, was paid my respect to the king of the LDBC. Y'all need to change that general shit. That's the king of the LDBC. Okay, you motherfuckers need to listen to him. Okay, we need to switch to a monarchy. Ain't that right, 78? You don't understand. They think all of this. The general, shit, he works for the president. We need a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? We need a king in this bitch. We need a king of black boxing. The black YouTube hardcore black boxing fan, dude. That's what 78 is, dog. Pay respect to the man. Super chat that dude something thick. Something thick at 7:00. Something sick. He said, Fannon, you have to go with Rom. What's that, Veltz? What's Rom? Got to go with Rom. He said, drinking that scotch like George Jefferson did on his show. Oh, I didn't even realize. But you know what scotch is. Scotch is the rich white man drink. You know what I mean? But I'm telling you, as they stealing the good shit, okay? They're stealing the good shit. There's a big difference. There's a big difference, homie, between that scotch and the rest of that. Because I was just kicking it with this Irish dude. I was kicking it with an Irish dude before we get into it. Kicking it with an Irish dude because I fuck with Irish dudes. I'm just gonna tell you, I fucks with Irish dudes. I know they be in the police beating the shit out of Negroes. and that is a terrible shame. Oh, not pause. Oh, yeah, I mean, you know what I mean? You know the saying, yeah, pause. Y'all know what the fuck I mean. I'll kick it with an Irish dude in a minute. You fuck around and go to an Irish dude's house and kick it, dudes, you're gonna be lit. You're gonna be completely and utterly lit for sure, and have a good time. And they're good people, you know what I mean? I think they're good people, man. They're a fellow. You know what they are? They're an oppressed group of white people. So from one group of oppressed white, like of all the truly oppressed white people, number one, it got to be them Irish. Oh, other than the Eastern Europeans, because they be dropping massive bombs over there, dog. But the Irish are a little safer. You know what I mean? They ain't gonna drop massive bombs in the middle of Ireland. It's too close to the UK. But they hardcore too. So I kick it with Irish dudes, man. Love shepherd's pie, cottage pie. There's this in Kansas City. Hey, man, by the way, Forgot. Dude, these motherfuckers are on super bullshit. Super bullshit. Hey, man, it's going to get real serious real quick here, okay? It's going to get real serious real quick here after I read these super chats, because now I remember what it was that had me sipping. Thank you, Fannon. I learned a lot from you the past few days. Hey, man, no problem, man. It's my pleasure, man. And, you know, I'm old, so there's a lot of shit that went through these ears. Terrence Bailey said, trying to drink with 78. You sharing, bro? Y'all like that? Fannon, you think he can get lit with an Irish dude? They drinking with, what is that? Homong's Day? Get fucked up, bro. Hey, man. Oh, you think you can get lit with Irish? They drinking with homies. They drinking with homies they get fucked up with, bro. Okay. Yeah, you got to tell that again. But, dude, let me tell you what happened, man. Hey, True Benjamin, man, thank you so much for joining the channel. Thank you so much for joining the channel. That is greatly appreciated. I know that there's a lot of other things to do and focus on right now other than boxing. So I really, really appreciate you guys. So, all right, here, man, I got to tell you what happened. And much love to the man, Terrence Bailey Sr. Beautiful wife, man. And a great family, man. A descendant of a legend. I'll let him put in the comment section who he's a descendant of. But hey, that's hardcore people right there. And that's a lot of respect. And when you see Terrence Bailey Sr.'s name, pay respect to that man. Don't talk sideways to him, because we throws you out for that. Right off the bat. Right off the bat. But like I said, I don't put people's information out there unless they want to know, unless people ask who they are. But understand, you talking to royalty. You talking to legendary lineage right there. Okay? If we was in a place where people, based on the past accomplishments, a family member, that direct family members that could be passed on to you, that's one of the most hardcore of the hardcore. All right, so let me get into this. Unfortunately, yeah, Freddie Groves, I'm going to get into the corruption, but I got to do this first. I'm not going to give the name because I'm not putting people's family business and stuff out there. And eventually it'll come around. But I think I've seen could potentially be the dirtiest shit I've ever seen in my life. And I've seen a lot of dirty shit. And this is about the protest that took place in Kansas City. While the protests were happening in Kansas City, there's a photographer in Kansas City. I know him. I knew him. So now you know where the story's going. I knew him when he was alive. He went to a protest in Kansas City. And the story is 4 men, after he was taking all these pictures, he's a journalist. He's a journalist whose son, his 4 kids went to school with my kids in Kansas City. I saw him every day, every school day for years. He wasn't the most talkative guy in the world, and he was really very focused guy. Very in, very out. And he'd been around Kansas City for a very long time, taking pictures. And I admired him. I'd never seen his pictures, but I admired him because he had this truck. And it was a beautiful Jeep, with his business name on it. You could tell that he was a photographer because everywhere you went, he was taking pictures with big, long lenses, very focused guy. And 4 people, they say 4 people, saw the car after he left the protest taking pictures, and they killed him for his car. I'm still waiting to hear if they have suspects. But even when they get suspects, the suspects are going to deny it. That seems like a very terrible coincidence. that you're taking pictures of police officers at a protest and you die. A protest about police brutality. Sticking your camera in people's faces and you die because somebody tried to steal your car. I'll wait to see how it plays out. I'll watch to see how the investigation of that plays out. Because it seems more likely that somebody at the protest would have shot him for taking pictures. Because journalists have been having guns stuck in their face all over the country. And I wouldn't be surprised if somebody eventually didn't let that gun go. It's just, and I know the guy. I knew the guy. Dre's Fine says, I'm sorry for your pain, Fannon. I can see it on your face, brother. My son is a photographer. Sounds like a setup by the cops. Absolutely, it sounds like one. In Kansas, too. With all them people out there in Kansas, all around Kansas, Overland Park, Kansas. That shit ain't too far from Missouri. It is Missouri. The same state Ferguson's in. I'll be waiting to see how that plays out. That's all I'm saying. I don't know what happened, but all I know is what I actually know, and what I don't know is what I don't know for certain. All I know for certain is he's passed away, and that he was at that protest. It's the only thing I know for sure. And I think that's about as fair as I can be about that. So yeah, rest in peace. Son was on TV talking. Man, it was such. He held himself. This is a kid that's a little younger than my daughter, a little older than my son. Was talking about it on the news, and I just was so impressed, by that guy, by that kid. I've seen that kid since he's a kindergartner. A kindergartner. I mean, no, before that, fourth grade. I mean, no, not fourth grade. I mean, preschool. I've been seeing his kids, walking by his kids since preschool. See, y'all need to think about this, man. Y'all need to really think about this. The shit ain't gonna keep. I've been saying this for a year. Sean Snowden, much love, man. Hey, but never super chat me on stuff like that, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I never want super chats for that type of stuff. There's somebody that's really doing something, that's doing something out there that could use that money back. You use that money more than I can use that money. You know what I mean? And I appreciate that. Now, regular super chats for talking boxing and chopping it up, that's welcomed all day. It's welcome all day. And I take that to other channels and give that to other people, do others, for exceptional work in the LDBC, I'll put something on it immediately from us. You know what I mean? From us on the channel. And thank you guys, members, people support on the Patreon. Man, Mr. Newcomb, you are active on the Patreon. So all right, but let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. But one more gone for the friend. I appreciate that sentiment. That's what's up. All right, so the crookedness. Let's just get to the corruption in boxing, and I'm going to talk about it in a very straightforward fashion. And thank you, Terrence Bailey Sr. I appreciate it. It's everybody's loss. You know, I appreciated him. I appreciated him for the example. He said, every time I touch a camera, I think of him. Right? I got like this. Like, this is a camera that I can use to go around. But every time I look at this camera, I'm like, dude, this is what that guy was doing. You know what I mean? That's what this guy was doing. I never use this, by the way. Oh, I am. Well, I'm trying to use this for basketball for my son. But anyway, so let's get to the corruption. So there's a guy named Daniel Hennigan. I'm going to give you the facts, break down the facts as I understand them, so you have context for the discussion. Does that make sense? Think that's the best way to do it. I'm going to give you a lay down, a rundown of the facts as far as I understand them, and let you know where we are, the background. So the background is this. There's an organization called MTK Global. And MTK Global was founded by a man whose name is Daniel Hennigan. Daniel Hennigan is the son of Christy Hennigan. Kinahan. The name is Kinahan. So they formed, and MTK Global is the biggest management company of boxers in all of Europe. Okay. Now remember that MTK Global is the biggest boxing boxer manager in all of the UK, right? In all of Europe, probably. You know, you have Rabinsky, I think, that's over there in Russia, but that's about it. The biggest man, and he's a promoter. The biggest manager of fighters is MTK Global, who has Anthony Joshua signed to MTK Global. I'm pretty sure. Tyson Fury signed to MTK Global. I mean, they've just got a spree. And if Anthony Joshua's not signed to MTK Global, correct me, but I don't know. You know, Coogan Cassius is sponsored by MTK Global. MTK Global is very, very big. I mean, it's an impressive organization, right? Similar like to on the management level of a PBC here. I mean, it'd be interesting to see how many fighters that MTK Global manages and how many fighters Al Heyman manages. I wouldn't doubt if the numbers weren't similar. You know what I mean? Similar. I don't know. Maybe they're not up in the 200s or whatever. But, you know, Al Heyman's had some siphoned off. Not a lot, but some. But anyway, that's who MTK Global is. That's Daniel Kinahan and Christy Hennigan. Now, Daniel Kinahan was responsible for the boxing and management of it, but now he's no longer there. And he has been suspected of a lot of things because of what his father does. Now, I'll let you guys, all I'm going to say is the rumor. I don't know if this is true or not true. You know what I mean? It's just as regulars out there in the news. That's it. Right? They're the biggest. The Kinahans are connected, according to Google, right? According to Google, as the biggest heroin dealers in Europe and involved in money laundering. So for like the people that have beef with them, they handle the money laundering. So that's what the UK government accuses them of. Now, people have been accused wrongly in the past, and I'm not saying that I know that any of that is true, because it very well may not be true. However, that's what it's in the paper, and I think people went to court about stuff. They've served jail in different places for being convicted of it. So essentially, that's the kind of the deal over there. So now Bob Arum, right? So Bob Arum from the United States, just not too long ago, started saying how great and how important Mr. Kinahan is to getting all the fighters the fighters from the United States and the UK to be able to make really big fights in the Middle East. Right? That came out. So there was that beginning connection. And now some announcement went out where Roy Jones Jr. is on this announcement. Lennox Lewis is on this announcement. Shelley Finkel is on this announcement. Bob Arum is on this announcement, and several other people that they have accepted a meeting invite from in much respect to all government officials, definitely royalty of Bahrain. So that's where he's going to go over there, and they're all going to have a meeting and see about bringing boxing. So now you see the connection between the two. Over and here in Europe, you have people that are accused of things that relate to what I described. And in the Bahrain is on everybody's list of top 10 humanitarian disasters on the planet. So no need to tell you what those are, right? So that's the organization of the people that are talking about bringing boxing over there. There's more money in their regular everyday business than there is in boxing. So what you need boxing for? How does boxing work between the three? I'll leave you educated people to come up to your own conclusions about what role people could have as an intermediator between people whose services are those and people's whose services are over there. And I think this is extraordinary. And why would it be? Because they're broke. Bob Arum is more likely broke. More than likely broke. That's the only reason he would do that. Why would you do that? You got to be making enough money. But no, he's been coming out of pocket. That's why they got to get back to boxing so badly. It's wild, ain't it? And so then you have over there, this just to do the same process for everything else. The way you analyze that international boxing deal, analyze the other ones like that. And it can it's pretty interesting. Very interesting. That's why I'm not involved in the business of boxing. No. I'll make little money. And I hope they all get their money. Good job for them. But that's crazy. Humanitarian disaster. I personally, as a moral issue, don't think that I would be over there doing that, dog. And boxers gotta figure out whether or not you're willing to do that. If you are, get that dough, because there's gonna be a lot of dough. There's gonna be a lot of dough. People are gonna get paid. Stupid paid. Stupid paid. Stupid paid. I think that's who was out there paying farmers. I'm not saying none of that. Like I said, dog, I don't do politics. I try to stay into boxing. That is politics. That's international politics. That's international politics, or international relations, whether above board or below board. And nah, dude, that's not my personal thing. That's not my thing, dude. But hey, man, it is what it is, dude. That's what goes on a lower scale, and why we got a lot of the problems going on in the world, man. It's just really interesting, man. The longer you live, the more you realize that if I went back to high school, how much more fun it would be now. To be like, wow, okay, let me just learn all this shit and run around and get trim 5 out of 6 days of the week. What a wonderful life that would be. Trying to lighten up the mood. But that's why I said, man, are they just Drew Titan needs 1,000 subs now. Excellent LDBC. Yes, he is. So any questions you guys have for me? Does that make sense to you first and foremost? I missed a lot of super chats. Oh, you said one more. Oh, no, I got him. Thank you, man. I appreciate the support. Imagine if it was Al Heyman, they would be in the cover of New York Times. What? It wouldn't be. It would. So they making dough. They making dough. I'm not going to talk about what the right and the wrong of it, because that's up to y'all. Dog, you see what we're sitting in the middle of? So who's the fucking judge? Shit. You're not going to do business in America at this point? I ain't gonna get on no moral trip about Bahrain when the shit's popping off in the streets here. Shit. Hell no. You might as well say don't fight here. All the shit going on here. So don't get me wrong. Me explaining what I think I saw, what that news article meant to me doesn't mean that I have any problem with it at this point. Fuck that. Why am I gonna get all up in fucking arms about? I'm sure it's fucked up over there, dude. But all that shit's right here. People, kids, daddies getting shot in Kansas City, dead, laid out. Fuck, I care if you fighting Bahrain for it. Go fucking fight in Bahrain. Yeah, Bahrain, go take your ass over to Bahrain. What the fuck is going to happen to you there? Can't happen to you here. What's going to happen to you there? Can't happen to you here. Go get your money. How much money they paying you? Go get that money. Fucking please. I ain't about to be no fucking hypocrite. Everything that you could blast some dudes for doing over there, they're doing right here, dude. And ain't none of these people black. Ain't none of them black. I'd heard rumors that MTK Global was really run by black people. I was like, okay, don't sound right, but you know that's what they say. If that's what black people say that work over there, you know, okay, sure, right? Like I ain't got fucking Google. Fucking crazy, dude. Black people didn't run it. Hell no. So what's up, man? Ask me some questions, man. I need to lighten my day. Y'all listening, and I appreciate it. It's fun. He says, Skinny Kenny said, man, from what I have read, Daniel Kinahan makes Blinky Palermo and the 50s US mobsters look like little street hoods. That is international. Yeah, it is, dog. Hey, Wayne, DAZN dead yet or not? Nah, I heard that they got an infusion of cash. Wonder where from. I wonder where they got that money from. Anybody you know that we might have talked about today that might have $500 million thrown on the table? I don't know. Hell no, they ain't going out of business. I have completely changed my mind about the possibility of that. No, they are not going to go out of business. They're going to have a bunch of money. They're going to have a bunch of money. Nah, they're good. They're going to be around, homie. They're going to be around. Juniper P, I'm sorry I'm late. What did Bob do? Nothing. Oh, man, they're just organizing a business deal between some people in Bahrain and some people in the UK. And they're going to make a deal and make a lot of money. That's about it. Bumpy Thompson just looked AJ's manager for you. He's called Freddie Cunningham. Oh, no, that's not man. The owner of DAZN is a multi-billionaire. Yeah, the owner of DAZN, but somebody, he got cash infusion. And right, multi-billionaire. Hey, dude, that dude Kinahan might be a billionaire, all that they talking about. That dude got a lot of money, dude. He ain't waiting for his pension. Anybody that would have that position that he has, no, dude, they got a lot of money. I wouldn't be surprised at all if they were a billionaire. Why would there can be? I mean, not saying he's a criminal because, like I said, I don't know. But you get paid a lot of money as a criminal. Typically, successful ones make a lot more than people that are not stealing. At least that's been my perception. Say, go watch Mob Ties channel with the Killahans versus the Hutch feud. Real gang wars. Yeah, dude, putting bodies down. Bodies down. I'm sorry, but DAZN seems like a money launderer. Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, I think I'll put it this way. I think that you might have a point that's worth looking into. Yeah, I'm slipping all that. I ain't saying nothing on these dudes. Hell no. I don't know shit. I don't know nothing. Hey, could be. Fannon, do you know that what channel, or have you heard any boxing comments on this weekend? Heard some Mexican boxing form another channel. There's a lot of Mexican channels on YouTube. D-Style's Mexican. Let me see. Fannon, do you know a channel, or have you heard of boxing? Any boxing coming on this weekend? Excuse me. I heard some Mexican boxing from another channel. I think they were fighting. I heard something about some cards being put on in Mexico. I heard maybe a couple of weeks ago. I might have heard it mentioned. Papalot Mob Ties channel. Fannon, did you see that they are talking about Manny fighting GGG? Yeah, he's pulling that scheme. Yeah, he's pulling that same old scheme, dude. Same old scheme. The move up and fight Gennady Golovkin, right? So that's going to make you what? What would that do? What would that do for Manny? I'm a nine division champion, all the way from 115 to 160. I'm the greatest fighter that ever lived. Nobody's ever done that. Gone from that big a weight jump span. Not even Henry Armstrong went up that big a weight span. Here's the problem with that, though. Gennady Golovkin is an easier fight for Manny, might be an easier fight for Manny Pacquiao than Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence. Because Gennady Golovkin's slow. So at least he got a chance because Gennady Golovkin's so slow. And Manny Pacquiao's so fast, and that's what he believes his advantage is over bigger guys, being faster. But he's going to get that. He's going to get bopped up by Terrence Crawford. He's going to get bopped up. Even though I got to give Manny Pacquiao credit. Manny Pacquiao probably thinks he can beat him. Manny Pacquiao probably thinks he can beat Terrence Crawford. He is sorely mistaken. Sorely mistaken. And the Errol Spence too. Both them dudes is beating him up. Because they're too fast. Gina is old, no doubt about it, man. So I thought Shakur was going to be fighting. I heard that he was too. I gotta look into it. I haven't looked at what's that? Second. That might be easier. You said it yourself. GGG has slow hands and slow feet. I actually give Pacquiao a good chance of beating GGG. Yeah. He couldn't beat the name of GGG. No chance. You're the legend of Gennady Golovkin? No, he could not have beaten that guy. But that guy's long gone, homie. That guy hit the bricks 4 years ago. What is it? That dude hit the bricks at least 3 years ago. His clear decline started 3 years ago. Prior to that, probably 4 years ago, because it was Daniel Jacobs. Fight with Daniel Jacobs I think was the turning point. The downward trajectory started for Gennady Golovkin at the Daniel Jacobs fight. And continued on. To now he's about to do he could possibly do like a Sergey Kovalev type of thing. St. Cruzin, when Floyd was faster than Pac in one round, it was over. Oh, when Floyd, yeah, man. Man Pacquiao real fast, man. I think the hand speed is probably equal between Floyd and Manny, which is the problem for Manny, because his advantage usually is speed, and he didn't have it. It was completely neutralized because Mayweather is a crazily now see. I think about this boxing stuff, him being the greatest fighter ever and all that. I think that some people overrate him and are victims of them, are just, captives of the moment or their recent memory. You know what I mean? But so I don't think he's overrated. I just don't think he's the greatest ever. You know what I mean? But there are people that underrate his athleticism. His athleticism is bananas. That is an athlete. He was very, very fast, very strong, but had great endurance, and could move very quickly in any direction. And he could also stand and trade with you. He could also tie you up, on the inside and prevent you from really doing anything with him. He's very, very strong, man. Very, very gifted physical athlete. And he's just as gifted, if not more gifted athletically than Manny Pacquiao is. And he's a lot fundamentally better, which is why I never understood why anybody thought he was going to beat him. And Floyd beat better fighters. Now that I don't think there's a debate. If you look at the times where Floyd Mayweather Jr. fought like in his early career and Manny's, come on, man. In the early part of Manny's career, he lost to Eric Morales. He got knocked out 2 times in the Philippines. And he's fighting for a lot of those fights. He just fought in the Philippines. He wasn't fighting world-class fighters all during that time before he got here. And then he fought guys like Cotto, who had already been beat, Oscar De La Hoya, who had already been beaten, was older out of the way out many times. And then he got a couple gift decisions against so I just never understood why anybody ever thought that Manny Pacquiao was going to beat Floyd Mayweather. Still baffles me. What do you see there? He's fast. And he will overwhelm fighters, but those are those fighters, not him. You know what I mean? He ain't gonna be able to pull that shit off with Floyd. He ain't just gonna be quick jumping in and all that landing shit. Man, please. That's what Floyd does. Floyd is gonna get you in a position to pop you and get out of the way, and you're not gonna be able to let no shit off like that. Only time I've ever seen Floyd really get rocked is when he stood there and he got bold. He made a mistake. I think against Shane Mosley, he just got tricked against Shane Mosley. Because Shane Mosley took the fight, won the first second. He won the first second of the fight. He won the first second. Because, and I think maybe, did he do it? When was the knockdown? They didn't get knocked down. When did he hurt him? Was that the second round? I think it might have been the second round. But I think during the first and the second round, or the first round, the first punch that was landed, if I recall correctly, was a left jab to the body. What's going on, hater to love it? Oh, man, I'm chilling, just talking boxing. It was a straight shot to the body. And all of a sudden, Floyd looked up and they both smiled at each other. And from then, it was on. And I think that gave Shane Mosley a lot of confidence and put Floyd Mayweather off his rhythm, which is why he caught him with them hooks. Caught him because he jabbed him to the body. And the reason I say that is because that's the reason. That's what Floyd will almost always start a fight with. He'll just walk out there and punch you in the stomach. Jab, like a stiff jab to the stomach. Boop! Because you're up like this, and he just clocks you right there. Man, Floyd can fight, man. Beautiful, beautiful fight game, man. Beautiful fight game. Boggles my mind how y'all idiots thought he was going to beat Floyd Mayweather Jr. But that doesn't mean Floyd Mayweather Jr. is the greatest fighter ever. Doesn't it? Rich? Yeah, he made his money. Junior B said, agreed. Floyd was always the better overall fighter and athlete. I don't care when that fight happened. Manny was going to lose. Yeah, ain't nobody Floyd's size beating him. Now I'll say that. Ain't nobody Floyd's size beating him. Floyd is beating up everybody smaller than him. He's the best lightweight. He's the best 130 to 135 fighter, clearly. Since Duran? Maybe since Duran? He smokes all that. He smokes all the people in the general time frame as him. And he's better than Costa Zoo, like the Costa Zoos and the Ricky Hattons and all of that nonsense. Even back, yeah, dude, he's just nasty, man. GG Skinny Kenny said GGG is not as good as he's hyped up to be, but one thing he does have is a chin, and he is great at cutting off the ring and engaging. He just pounds little man. He just pounds little Manny. You got to hit little Manny. Little Manny gonna shock him and pop him and hurt him. Man, if that fight was happening, something's up the sleeve, dog. Manny Mansuit, I just don't believe it. I don't believe it. 71-inch reach. Okay. I'm saying if he takes the fight, because if he takes the fight, it's an easier still. You know what? I'll say this. Let me correct myself. Yes, that would be a difficult fight for Manny Pacquiao. And there's a chance he could lose for sure. All right. So let me acknowledge that. Yeah, Gennady Golovkin might not be so gone that Manny Pacquiao can just roll over on him, right? Maybe, but maybe not. But he's still an easier fight than Terrence Crawford, and he's an easier fight than Errol Spence, stylistically, and as far as where the fighters are in their career, because those are two prime fighters at his weight class who are both bigger than him and are both very experienced. Both are, Eric, you can say what you want about both of them, but like Terrence Crawford, every fight he's fought has been a championship fight since when did he win that title? Like 250? Was it 200? It must be 2015 he won a belt. He won his belts, right? 2015? He's somewhere like right around there with the WBO 135-pound championship against Ricky Burns. That would have been the fight. What's cracking, Fannon Don? Smash the like button, peoples. Yes, man. B-man. Appreciate that. Yeah, man. Let's smash the like button, man. Let me get the likes. Let me see if that helps. Let's see if that helps the channel. I never pushed that. Yeah, man. Let's get the likes up. That'd be great. Let's get the likes up. Floyd is the greatest 135-pounder of all time. Floyd beat better guys than Duran did at 135. Maybe someone like Henry Armstrong or Sandy Sadler could be better. Shoot, Sweet Pea could be better. Sweet Pea lost to 147. Sweet Pea never lost to 135. Could be Sweet Pea. Actually, probably is Sweet Pea if it ain't Floyd. Duran is before that. I actually was a little disrespectful of Sweet Pea. I apologize, Sweet Pea. My bad. Purnell. Can't believe I forgot Purnell. Purnell's a 135, right? And then moved up. Manny should do the right thing and pass the turn. Hey, man, Justice State and get my cash money, man. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. Might be early 2014 for Bud being a champion. If that's 2000, yeah, whatever the Ricky Burns fight was. I screw up my year. Yeah, Brian, I screw up my years. My man says Sweet Pea. Yes, sir. Oh, Sweet Pea's, man, Sweet Pea's nice, man. Rest in peace, Sweet Pea. I need to go back. Matter of fact, dude, I think that's what I'm about to do maybe this evening. When I get done my work is go watch Sweet Pea. That might be fun. For now, what are your thoughts on David Price versus Hughie Fury? They may be possibly facing each other. David Price versus Hughie Fury. I take Hughie Fury. I do. I do not like watching Hughie Fury fight, though, because that back is just crazy. Like, he does not react to his steroids well. Just kidding. Hate it or love it, TV said Floyd beats Sugar Ray at 130 and 135 and 147. I don't know. Maybe Sugar beats him, maybe. You talking about Sugar Ray Leonard? I mean, you're talking about Sugar Ray Robinson? I thought Robinson started at lightweight. I don't remember Sugar Ray Robinson starting at one. Was it 130? I need to be better educated on the record of Sugar Ray Robinson. However, Sugar Ray Robinson is better than Floyd Mayweather. I would take Sugar Ray Robinson over Floyd Mayweather Jr. myself, because I'm not going to disrespect that shit. I've seen enough. You know what I mean? I can't say that I've seen all his fights and all that, but I've seen enough. I mean, because obviously a lot of his stuff's not on tape. I've seen enough. That dude is going to fuck you up. He's the same size. And that dude is trying to fuck you. That dude's trying to fuck you up, dude. Straight up. And he's doing a damn good job. That dude can fight. He was fighting guys much bigger than him and cracking them. Fighting every other. He's just looking at how he fought. That'd be difficult. Now he's gonna get touched. I don't know if he's just gonna be able to. I don't know, man. That just seems a little much. You know what I mean? That seems a little much. Arce Boxing Life says, salute for 9 peace and blessings. My born day is Monday, turning 40, man. Welcome to the OG Club. Make sure you remind me on Monday, man. Welcome to the OG Club, Arce Boxing Life. All right, that's what's up. 40. That's a good time, man. The 40s are good years. 40s, those are good years, man. You're still as vibrant as you were in your 30s. You got a little more knowledge on you. That's what's up, man. Congratulations. Talking about Leonard. Ray Leonard never fought at 130 or 135. Ray Leonard is 147, 147, like 168. And I don't think Floyd beats Ray Leonard. That'd be the hardest fight of Sugar. I'll put it this way: that'd be the hardest fight of Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s career times 2. let's put it that way. The one that was like a 1981, the same one that fought Duran the second time and fought Hearns and Wilfred Benitez. Man, poo. Dog, that boy was blasting people out, man. That dude got hands, man. Sugar Ray Leonard, you know what it is. What's going on, you know what's going on right nowadays, man. I gotta redo something. Something just seemed like it just stopped. I don't understand what happened, and it's wasting my time. All right. Got to do something real quick. Otherwise, day gets jacked up. Floyd versus who? Hitmonchan? Who is that? Who's Hitmonchan? David Hyde. To me, Floyd wasn't prime at 147. No, he wasn't. Absolutely was not. Prime was 135. Really, probably 130 was at his best. Tell you the truth. It's probably even smaller than that. His best was probably 130. So really, he's really not that big. I've seen Floyd. I've been close to Floyd before. He's really not that big. Not big at all. So the fact that he can get up there to 147, that tells you. For now, Ray was getting whooped by a Motor City Cobra before he caught him in the 15th. I think it was. Yes, it knocked him out, but that shows that hard. You can't screw around. Bop, got him. Dog, if he can pull out a knockout like that on Thomas Hitman Hearns, don't talk about that. So that tells you right there. Right there. He was. Until Hitman. Yeah, I don't know what the Hitmonchan. He must be typing on his phone. It's all right. It's all good. I got the question. I get it. The Hitman. Thomas the Hitman Hearns. Oh, you guys got an aunch in the middle of a Hitman. Okay, I see. You just had a problem with the thing. Yeah, Sugar Ray Robinson's the GOAT. Yeah, man. Hey, Sam Langford ain't no punk either, though. Nah, ha, ha, ha. Before we go on saying that Sugar Ray Leonard got a lock. I mean, Sugar Ray Robinson got a lock on like pound for pound #1 ever. That ain't set because you got your boy Sam Langford. Yes, I feel guilty every time I say that because I didn't know anything about it until I started listening to Scrapbook Boxing. And then I got a book and read it on him. Now, and then I watched his fights on YouTube. Dude is tight, man. Dude is tight. I promise you. I read a book. You guys should buy the book. And in fact, man, I should probably get you. There's some really good books. Some of you guys, and this is not talking to everybody, but some of you guys, I got some books, man, that you probably should read, man. That would make these conversations really fun. Tyson Fury would have a suggestion for Ray Leonard on how to clear his sinuses. What? Oh, yeah. I get it now. Sam is pound for pound, lightweight to heavyweight. Yep. He was his build is wild. That's why I was like, see, sometimes, dude, when you see like people tell you things about how tall somebody was and how they're this height and there's no way that they could do, anything. But then you research, you do your research on them, or if you see them, you can understand why. Like with there's this guy. What's a good example? Like a Muggsy Bogues or Mike Tyson. Like if you see Mike Tyson, like if somebody told you now and you had never seen Mike Tyson, that a guy that was about 5'10" and maybe 100, maybe 205 pounds, 210 pounds, could knock out a guy that's 6'6", 260. If somebody told you that had happened, that could happen now, oftentimes people will say they don't believe it. Right? Oh, no. It couldn't be. It's too short. He couldn't have done it. Right? But you all have seen Mike Tyson. But when you see Mike Tyson in person, you kind of understand, like, oh, that's why he knocks these dudes out. Like that was what when I was around Mike Tyson, that was my impression. Like, oh, yeah, he'll knock these dudes out because he was near big guys. Like, because it was at something for like it was for some movie premiere, right? That was in DC. And when I was living in DC. And Mike Tyson, but I walked up to him and I was like, oh, yeah. And then there was other basketball players. I was like, oh, he'll fuck these basketball players up. That's a pit bull. He's going to run through them dudes. I don't care how tall you are. He's going to run through you. Do not think Mike Tyson cannot knock out these dudes, man. Do not believe you're just going to sit like a real prime Mike Tyson just out on the side of a jab all night. More than likely not. You know what I mean? More than likely not. Unless you just got tremendous. I'm taking Sonny Liston over who? I wouldn't take him over Sam Langford. Yes. But see, the thing about Sam Langford was the way they describe it. If you look at the YouTube videos, you can see it. His chest is gigantic. Like he's got a big, very big chest, which stretches everything out. He's not tall this way. He's tall this way. And tall and long with his arms. So he's the same size as these dudes. He's just short. It's like they just took the legs off of him. But see, if he could get inside, then he could beat him. Because inside, he is right next to their body. So it's a matter of strength. And he's stronger than them because he's got that big ass chest, which, a lot of times dudes with big chests crack you. I know that's not the only thing, but I'm just saying that they're very, very strong. So if you fight on the inside, he's at a big advantage on the inside because he's going to be a lot stronger than you. even if he's got a shorter thing. Because he did fight all the way up to like one. What did he fight up to? Like, I think his prime weight was like 170 when he was at the early part of his careers. And I think he got all the way up into the 190s. But when he got up to the 190s, he was just fat, like Dillian White. So that might have worked, man. Bud isn't. Let me see. Oh, but man, I'm not taking Sonny Liston over Sam Langford. He was Focusball said he was a barrel of a man. Yeah, like just, and you could see it. Really broad, very big. And an excellent fighter and a smart fighter. I had underestimated, and now it's better to understand the relationship between, like, the relationship as fighters between him, Sam McVeigh, and who are the other guys that they fought? Like Bill Lang. Oh, man. And I always forget the name. I keep, like I said, man, I'm learning about these early 1900s heavyweights or fighters. And none of those dudes wanted them, dog. They're the best in all. When you're talking about Sam Langford, like when you say Sam McVeigh, do Sam McVeigh, Jack Johnson, Sam Langford, and the guy's name is killing me, but there's some other ones. There's some other ones too. They were the ones that none of the European dudes could beat. They were literally just like it is now for the most part, or had been for a long time. Now you got it's not a strong time. I think primarily because it's not the highest paying. It's not the highest paying sport for the most numbers of athletes. So, and Sam Langford and these guys were the best athletes because you either had to be. They were the best at black athletes, period. They probably had to be because they were making the most money. They were making the most money. They, of everybody in sports. So if you wanted to make a money and everybody knew how to do it, pretty much fighting is just natural, and there's a lot of gambling and it's connected to gambling. So they found some really good athletes to fight each other. So I think that what he did with those guys, is why you should rank him very highly. Because as far as good heavyweights, if you list like the number, I think I list like 5 or 6 really good heavyweights. That was a little bit after John L. Sullivan, but Jim Jeffries. And then who's the guy? Burns, I think it was Tommy Burns. Yeah, Tommy Burns is the dude. So there was a good number of heavyweights. And if you're the best guy of all of them, consensus-wise, in a generation, like from 1900 to 19 till Joe Louis. I mean, you have to consider Sam Langford to be one of the best heavyweights from 1900 to 1935. You know what I mean? So over the first quarter of the century. So yeah, man, you got to get that dude a spot on being one of the greatest fighters ever. Anyway, man, I know I'm boring you guys, man. I'm sorry. I get heady sometimes, man. The past greats were all fundamentally skilled and well-balanced fighters. Yeah, and they fought a lot, so they had a lot of experience. They were much more active, and that has to be considered an advantage when you're thinking about it, because you have to be consistent. You have to do it against a lot of different people, and because they really couldn't get the fights with the. Now their problem was the only fighters that they could get fights were with the better fighters. They just weren't getting paid as much. And they were paying the people the money, just the white fighters more, just because they were white. You know what I mean? Like it was a law. Like, hey, why does he get more than me? Because you're black. Did you hear about Bernard Hopkins? We'll talk about that. The video come about that, man. We'll talk about that in that. So yeah, when you look at Sam Langford, yeah, man, Sam Langford should be considered up there. When you're looking at Sugar Ray Robinson, because the original point came from him and Sugar Ray Robinson, and Sugar Ray Robinson is probably about the same. When did he come in the 50s? I think he started off maybe like the late 40s, 1950s, whatever was towards the end of Joe Louis's career, through strong to maybe the early 60s, or late 50s. I don't know if that's is that as big? What is that, 25 years? I mean, how big was his career? That generation of fighters between the two. So I don't know. That's a good comparison, and especially when you talk about the range of the weights that they fought. It's about what and what. Because Jack Johnson, I mean, what did he say? Now Jack said Sam Langford's middleweight. He could fight all the way to middleweight to heavyweight. He got some Australian titles, some secondary titles. But shoot, the titles now are secondary. I don't know what would make the they might as well go call him a champion now. Give it to him posthumously. He had the Australian title. That's got to be worth what the WBO is now. That's got to be worth the WBO 154-pound championship, depending on the guy he fought. Sharpen his skills with every fight, not every other fight. Yep. Thank you. Thanks, Dre's Finest. Your sugar came in the 40s. Thank you. Fannon. So, Fannon, are we talking today's technology for boxing or then? I don't care about the technology. I don't care about the technology. I mean, really, honestly, the technology is not that different. If you mean steroids, okay. That's something different. Other than that, what's the difference? I work out 5 days a week. Dude, I'm not doing anything different than I see Sam Langford and those guys doing. They're doing push-ups, they're running, they're hitting bags. Only thing they weren't doing is lifting weights. You talking about juice, though? Hey, okay. I'm having rests, but still, dude, if you play basketball, think about it, man. If you're a basketball player, just just do it with fighting. If you're a fighter, who's the better fighter? Me? If I fight every day for 10 years, or every day, a bunch of fights, I keep fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting, and you train with somebody and fight once or twice a year, right? Or we'll change the numbers, that's the exaggerated point to demonstrate the point. Obviously, I would bet that I will whoop your ass if I'm fighting every day against a bunch of different dudes and the same guy over and over and over again. And you're not fighting, you're just training. That dude, if you play a basketball player that all he does is play in the street, but that's all he does, but he knows how to shoot, knows how to play. He's doing the same things you're doing on the bag in his sparring, but he's doing it in a real life fight with no headgear for money. That dude's gonna be better, man. More than likely. Isn't that what people say? Who's the better basketball player? The one that puts in the hours. They're really doing it in a ring, man. I would say that's an advantage for somebody, for the person that fought more fights. Because they've seen everything a bunch of times. So you got to have to bring something they've not. How are you going to bring something they ain't seen before when they fight that often? It's tough. And it's how fighters get better now. Rookies lose to veterans. What's the reason for that? A lot of times. Because the guy just knows more about the sport of boxing. He had more time to learn. I'm sure that boxing in a very large part is mental and not technological. It's mental. You got to be a dog. You know what I mean? You got to be a dog to fight, man. If somebody got an attitude where they're just going to run through you, a lot of that play comes into play too. I would think somebody like Sam Langford, who's not afraid to lose, who got to fight and knows how to fight, will be has just as much desire to win as somebody that fought now. Maybe more. Because he ain't got nothing else to do. I think all those things should be considered when you compare eras of boxing. I think those are reasonable things to take into consideration. Along with but boxing is also interested in this regard because it doesn't really matter the size difference because they're all in the same weight class, other than the heavyweights. Everybody welterweights is still a welterweight. They're literally the same size men when they step on the scale. So do you think Ortiz will beat Brawner because Brawner is way more experienced? I would say that you're making an unfair comparison. But yes. Oh, see. So do you think Ortiz will beat Brawner because Brawner has way more experience? I think Brawner fighting Ortiz is a very dangerous fight for Virgil Ortiz. Think that shit is it's a very dangerous fight for Virgil Ortiz. Man, Adrian Brawner screw around and knock that boy out. Don't think. Dude, I know Virgil Ortiz is pushing it and doing it, and knocking dudes out. But those dudes he's knocking out that's not Adrian Brawner. And we don't know if Virgil Ortiz is Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao didn't knock him out. Sean Porter didn't knock him out. Marcos Maidana didn't knock him out. None of those guys knocked him out. So if Virgil Ortiz is going to try to rush and try to get in on him, he could very well get caught, man. Very well get caught. Man, seriously, don't lunch, man. Adrian Brawner is not a bad fighter. He's not a guy that can't fight. The dude can fight. It's just that, he's not a top welterweight. He's probably a second-tier welterweight. Virgil Ortiz is a prospect who's not fought anybody like Adrian Brawner. Hasn't won a title. He's just bigger and younger and more aggressive. And people understand that there might be a little bit of a book out on Adrian Brawner. But look, man, I'm going to get up out of here, man. I appreciate you guys today for tuning in. We had an old school boxing. Dafu said Brawner is a tough fighter. His only problem is his limited dedication. Yeah, there you go. I can appreciate that. Yeah, don't underestimate Brawner like that, man. He's not like, it's not like the guy can't fight. He just had big moments that he didn't come through in big moments. But he fought in the big moments. I don't see why. I don't know why. Unless there's age, comes into play or something like that. Why I would expect Sean Porter not to be able to run through Adrian Brawner, but Virgil Ortiz would, considering the experience. Now I know. Well, maybe Virgil Ortiz. Oh, hey, all right, Focus Ball, get with you, man. But all right, man. Look, I do got to get out of here. Make sure you'll go check out KQKC. Also, check out the great work of Focus Ball. And I'm going to get out of here, man. Peace. Have a good, be at OG Boxing Talk. Have a great weekend.